It's Wednesday morning, and we are one day closer to our date with Destiny and the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday at 3 p.m. in South Philly. And we're going to continue the talk of how we should be respecting the Rams as opponents, not scared of them, respecting them as opponents. We're also going to talk about the disaster of the Sixers a little bit more. I know we don't want to talk about it, but it's a pretty big disaster going on down there in South Philly as well. Trending in the AM, we're live in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo!
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live. YouTube and Twitter, guys, do me that favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, wherever you are watching, as we continue the race to 500 subscribers here on the STT Sports Network. We're starting today off at 356. Let's see if we can get to 360 subscribers today. So do your worst, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. Good morning to you, Duck. Good morning, Big Al, checking in right away. Let's go, Birds. And again, I'm leaning into the conversation that kind of got brought up late yesterday in the show. It's not that I am scared of the Los Angeles Rams. It's that I respect the opponent, the Los Angeles Rams, and respect who they are and what they are capable of doing. So I think it's very important to differentiate those things. Let me get that little thing off there, and differentiate that that's the thing. Trying to share the show out a touch here and do my worst to help promote this show. All right, done. Got that all done. You know, it's very important that we realize that the Rams are not the same team that we beat 37-20 about 2 months ago. They might be a little bit better. The key, though, is that we should not have any problem beating the Rams. There are some holes, some issues, some things I'm concerned about, things I want to, keep my eye on throughout the week. And when the game starts, I'm not scared of them. But I think if the Eagles, and I don't think the Eagles will do this, if the Eagles take the Rams lightly, and the fans seem to be doing that, then it could be a problem. And that's the one key thing. Nick Sirianni would never take the Rams lightly. Nick Sirianni will always keep his team ready to go. I want to bring up a quote from Nick Sirianni. I got to find it here on Twitter real quick. It just popped into my head, and I didn't get to address it yesterday. Nick Sirianni talking about A.J. Brown and the drama with the inner excellence and whatnot. Here's a quote from Nick Sirianni. I'm definitely okay with it. The crazy thing is he's been reading this book on the sideline for a long time. It just so happened the camera saw it this week. Some guys pray in between. Some guys meditate. AJ reads. Whatever these guys need to do to put their mind in a place where they can play with great detail and great effort, I fully encourage them to do it. I love AJ. He's such a great teammate. I saw John Dotson said something defending AJ, and that was awesome. And another example of teammates defending each other. We don't do any research. He's talking about the media. They just jump to conclusions. Oh, he must be disgruntled. That, to me, is lazy. Everyone needs to figure out why he's doing it before they jump to judgment on the man, because the man AJ is a great, great person. The man AJ is the best receiver, and I'll say it without hesitation, the best receiver that the city has ever seen. That is why this team will always be ready and prepared. That is why they'll respect their opponent, but not fear their opponent. Nick Sirianni will have this team prepared, and I would be shocked if the team is unprepared for the Rams on Sunday. I'm a big fan. Good morning, little G. Hope you are well this morning. You have to respect an opponent at this point in the season. Exactly. We're into the final 8 teams. All right, this is when the cream rises to the top, right? You can't make a mistake. It's one and done. What's up, Super Bowl Bills? Like the shirt. Hey, look at me. Rocking a Flyer shirt. Probably in 4 years, the first time I've ever rocked a Flyers shirt live on the air. But I couldn't wear a Sixers shirt, and all my Eagles shirts are dirty right now. That's what I've been preaching: respect, not fear. That's all you got to do. If you take a team lightly and don't respect them, that's when upsets happen. That's when you got what year was it? The Giants were the 6th seed and went to the Super Bowl. That's what happens. Vikings fans still upset. Good for them. Skull their way back to Minnesota. I'm scared of Ravens. Look, you don't need to be scared, but you got to respect them. The Bills are better than the Ravens, barely, by a hair. But the Ravens are good enough where if the Bills slip up, they can lose that game. No team is the same, and they are a hot team. They need to stay hungry. Absolutely, they've won 6 of their last 7 games. That's good. Good morning, Todd. Hope you are well today. This Eagles team hasn't taken any team lightly this season. That's because of Nick Sirianni. Most focused team I've seen. I mean, the 17 team was very focused in the playoffs as well when Carson Wentz went down, etc. But yeah, I agree with you, and I understand what you're saying there. And you stay focused because of the coaching staff. Nick Sirianni, Vic Fangio, Kellen Moore. That is the number one thing right there. Stafford and Kupp is serious. Absolutely. That's because you are a smart fan who thinks through his fandom instead of that nutcase harassing a woman. So, obviously the guy that was harassing that woman was banned for life from the Linc. But the Packers person, I don't know if you guys saw this, actually had a YouTube channel and had a GoFundMe page to go to the game. And in the thing said, I know I'm going to get cussed at. I know things are going to be thrown at me, but I want to go into the belly of the beast. There's more to the story that meets the eye. I found out the guy has like 60,000 subscribers almost on YouTube, which is insane. So there might have been some goading going on. That it does not make what the fans said, right. But I want to see the full video from before the cussing happened. Was he goaded into it or anything like that? The guy's also been fired from his job as well. And even Big Al knows Puka is great. Puka is there's a scenario where Puka Nacua is actually better than Cooper Kupp at this point in their careers. We try to all be educated, not one-sided, not righteous Eagles fans. Like I said, Puka is Wilson if Wilson could actually play wide receiver in the NFL. Tyler Higbee out of hospital. Was he actually in the hospital? I didn't even know that he was in the hospital. Wow. Why fly, Eagles fly, back slap the Vikings the game? What? I don't even know what that means. Green Bay did well studying our tendencies. We won in 17 because DP reinvented the Foles tendencies back to the CK or Chip Kelly era in the postseason. Look, you got to have something new all the time. And that's something I'm looking at. Like, the Rams are going to be prepared. We beat the Rams in week whatever that was, like 2 months ago, like 8 weeks ago, because Saquon Barkley, all purpose, had over 300 yards. That's not going to happen this time. The Rams are going to be prepared for that. This is where Kellen Moore needs to design a new game plan to focus on A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, spreading the ball around a little bit more to the receivers so that we can open up. Because you've seen the last 4 or 5 weeks, teams are starting to stack that box against the Eagles more and more. So this game plan needs to be on Kellen Moore to figure out a way to open up. We always want to run to set up the pass. That's what we want as fans. I think they need to go back to what they did that frustrated us, which is pass to set up the run. The Kobe Dean loss is a key loss. Hopefully, Burks and Trot Jr. can fill in well. Look, I'm all for Oren Burks starting, and I know somebody yesterday said he could be the Nick Foles this year, but Vic Fangio did say yesterday in his press conference that Jeremiah Trotter has a great future, and that future may be now. So there's the last time he spoke of a rookie like that, the next week we saw Jelix Hunt start to get playing time. So I think it's going to be an Oren Burks, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. rotation now, based off of matchup situations, etc. Trotter Jr. probably does certain things better than other things at this point in his young career. So those moments, you're going to see some Trotter Jr. And the Eagles did also bring back to the practice squad yesterday former linebacker from last year, Nicholas Morrow. He played in 11 games this year, mostly special teams with the Bills. But Morrow is back on the Eagles practice squad. Someone that didn't play for Vic Fangio this year, but has played in Fangio's scheme throughout his career, so might know some of the verbiage pretty well. Maybe he did. There's a chance that Packers fan did this for content. Well, I mean, he said some bad things. It's bad press. What is it? I don't know. What does that say on it? I'm not sure, K1. You missed my 5-minute Christian Bazooted hoot. rant last night on Fairway to Heaven. What's up with that? Trot Jr. going to make some plays. That dude is a player. You know, I was not ready or prepared to see Trot this week, but when you hear Vic Fangio speak highly of somebody, that normally means that guy is ready, and so we might see some Trotter Jr. this week. Do you know the Minneapolis Miracle over Saints? Diggs touchdown at the end. Oh, I forgot. Dude, that stuff's not like front and center in my brain, okay? The Giants' last 2 iconic Super Bowl runs were as 5 seed, then as a 4 seed. So no 6 seed. I thought it was a 6 seed. It might have been a 5 seed. Thank you, Barbara. But if you don't take a team seriously in the playoffs, upsets can happen. That's the whole point of it. And, you know, that's why the Eagles need to do what they got to do to stay focused. And I have full confidence. I know Duck can't stand Nick Sirianni. But this game this week is one because of a great game plan from Kellen Moore and because Nick Sirianni keeps them focused on what's in front of them. Not the Super Bowl, not the championship game, the Los Angeles Rams. I find it amazing that Uncle Vic trusts his linebacker room so much that he's willing to continue his rotation. Yeah, like Vic Fangio is a special coordinator. He really is. He really has a beat on his players. He understands how to communicate with the older people, the younger people. He knows how to get everybody on the same page. I'm so glad Vic Fangio is content being our defensive coordinator, doesn't want an opportunity to be a head coach anywhere because that is fantastic news for the Eagles as well going forward, obviously, that, you know, he's not going to try to dip out on us, you know, for a head coaching job or another opportunity anywhere. You got to love that part of it right there. That's very good. What don't I understand? Is this homage? Yeah. Come on. Christian Bazunu. They tried last night to get me to say his name right. I refuse to say his name right. It's simple. The Rams are going to force the game to be on the back of Hurts. Green Bay laid the blueprint. Absolutely. And Jalen Hurts has had a week to knock off the rust. Kellen Moore sees what's going on. It's up to Hurts. It's up to Moore. It's up to Sirianni to design a game plan. Short, quick drags and slants and stuff like that to get Hurts in a rhythm to open up the middle of the field for Saquon Barkley to do his worst. It's going to be a pass-to-run offense versus the run-to-pass offense this week. And I'm the one that wants the ball run more than anybody. But this is the week to not run the ball as much early on in the game. Kyron Williams kind of made it. Kyron Williams is pretty solid. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. And when Nakobe Dean out, that's an issue for sure. I was going to say Morrow yesterday as a joke. Yeah, I mean, Nicholas Morrow's brought into the practice squad, not the active roster. Maybe he gets called up to play special teams. He's played under Michael Clay, the Eagles special teams coordinator, before, so we'll understand the assignments there. And again, he played under Sean Desai last year in Philly, who was a Vic Fangio disciple, so he'll understand the verbiage and the expectations if necessary. Yeah, well, you stink too. And now I'm going to skip all your comments for that. Fairway to Heaven is the best damn golf show there is out there. Morrow is a break glass in a case of emergency. Exactly. And he had a good season last year with the Eagles, all things considered. Not good season. He had a bad season. But all things considered, he had that one game with 3 sacks. Yeah, dropping the knowledge. Sorry, my bad. I get some facts. I get in the heat of the moment and some of my facts get mixed up. Anybody actually see Trotter recover that fumble on opening kickoff? It looked questionable whether he actually recovered it or not. I don't know. They called. Well, it was hard to overturn it, but I mean it was a tough call there. Last wildcard Super Bowl winner, $20, 10 Packers, 5 Steelers, 0 Ravens. Nice, but it's happened. It's happened. Will Eagles play zone, man-to-man, or blitz, Matthew Stafford? I'm not sure. I'm curious to see what they'll do with Puka and Kupp and how they'll do this. Hopefully Slay's not too banged up. I know he came out of the game. We'll see. But I've full confidence in Vic Fangio in holding the Rams to 20 or less points again. I really do. Puka's better than Tutu. Yeah, Tutu's been hurt all year, right? That were not the Giants. They made the Super Bowl. I don't think many understand how good these young players will be because they'll have the consistency of Uncle Vic there. Exactly. That's why I want Kellen Moore to stick around. Like Kellen Moore or not, consistency in the why do the Chiefs constantly have a good team? Because no one poaches Andy Reid's coaches anymore. And he's got, Spags there for how many years? And, he had Romeo Crennel for a while. Now he's got, what's his name, for a couple years in a row. Hurts will need to have more than 100 dump-off yards because Rams can score a lot. Absolutely. And Jalen Hurts, I expect to do a better job this week. Rams going to try to run exotic blitz schemes. Best way to overcome that is run the football. Absolutely agree. But they're also going to be stacking that box with 7, 8, 9 guys on a daily basis. Yeah, I mean, come on now. He was watching it. He was trash talking us during the show last night. K1, just so you know. He actually showed up last night. Morrow's going to be brought up in because he can play special teams. Absolutely agree. I was watching Sopranos yesterday, and when they were golfing, I thought of Phil. I wondered why you wanted to be golfing. That's a great episode when he meets the doctor on the golf course, I think. Yeah, exactly. That's the name I was trying to remember yesterday. Tory. Yeah, Team Tory. There you go. Vic will use the blitz rarely with an unknown linebacker level play. I'm guessing man in zone for third and deep. Yeah. I mean, you're going to see what he's done all year. Just maybe some tweaks to it. What's up, Chris? How you doing this morning? They need to not let Stafford get into a rhythm. He can just sit back there and dink and dunk their way down the field. Absolutely. And that is what Stafford is capable of doing. But here's the thing, even when teams have done that against Vic Fangio this year, once they get near the goal line, they tend to hold the team to field goals or create turnovers because I don't want to use the term bend, don't break defense, but they tighten up around the goal line and in the red zone a little bit more, the defense. And that's why the Eagles give up less than 18 points a game on the course of this season. So I firmly believe there will not be a prediction, well, maybe next week if we play the Lions, where I predict the opponent of the Eagles to score 20 points or more than 20 points, because they might give up some yards here or there some weeks, but the points just don't come against this defense because they have that don't give up mentality on every single drive. Not as good as the Eagles for sure. South of the border, down Mexico way. Yeah. I love it. It is such a I was thinking of a different golfing scene in The Sopranos, but yeah, he likes to go down to Boca. He doesn't go down enough from what I've heard. What do the Eagles run? A 4-3. They run a 3-4, a 5-2. I like to call it the Eagles run more of a 5-2. K1, a Kelly guy. Yeah, exactly. How crazy will the Linc be Sunday at 3 p.m.? What's the weather going to be like Sunday? I saw this morning some snowflakes pop up on my weather app for Sunday. Are they calling for snow at all? Or is that just like one of those little, It's going to be cold as hell on Sunday. And the colder it gets, the louder that crowd gets. I'm not sure if the Rams are prepared to play in the cold. Matthew Stafford played in Detroit, but they had a dome. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited for the loud, crazy Linc and the cold weather. And the Eagles come out and dominate the game. The one thing I can't stand about the team is the lack of blitz beating screens. Not sure if it's because the illegal man downfield tendencies or what. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Eagles are the only team that gets the illegal man downfield called every single game against them. It happens far too often, way too often. But we also run those bubble screens, the read option screens, the wide receiver screens. When are we going to go, Nooms, back to the traditional running back screen? Not the running back swing out screen that failed this past week. Just you let the blitz come and you dump it off to Brian Westbrook, and Brian Westbrook scampers for 25 yards. Why aren't we running a screen with Jordan Mailata leading the way? Like that, I don't understand. Where has that play gone? And I see other teams in the NFL using it still, but I haven't seen the Eagles run a traditional, basic screen pass to a running back in ages. I don't think ever in Nick Sirianni's era. It's kind of crazy because you got Saquon Barkley, you got Kenny Gainwell. Yeah, there you go, K1. I shout out your boy. I think those two guys with somebody like Jordan Mailata running in front of them could pick up big yards on a regular basis. You don't got to get overly creative with the bubble screens, the But last week there was a read option wide receiver or tight end screen. It was the dumbest play in the world. Did not succeed. Like, just stick to basic fundamental football with certain plays, and they don't do it. And I think it would be a great wrinkle in our offense. Rams O-line is good partially because Stafford gets the ball out fast. Yeah. And a big thing to, let me rephrase that. When quarterbacks get the ball out fast, what do I always preach on this show? Hands up. That's all you got to do. Get your hands up. Bat those balls down. That's how you combat a wide. You can't sack the quarterback because he gets rid of it quick. Get your hands up. Get your hands up. Everybody together. Get your hands up. Started season 3 of Bear. Started season 3 of Bear. Still, I don't have the channel to watch it on demand, I don't think. See a lot of tight end play this week. Potentially from both sides. If Higbee plays, he's going to be a big feature with Nakobe Dean out. I don't know who the backup tight end is with the Rams yet, if he's any good. But yeah, I can see Dallas Goedert getting involved again. Over the middle, opening up everything. These guys would be Phil's friends. Who would be Phil's friend? I don't know. Rams of not the same as when they won it, and their running game is down to one running back. Yeah, Kyron Williams. Look, the Rams are. Excuse me. The Rams are exactly like the Packers and how I described the Packers last week, Barbara. The Rams are a good football team. You can't take them lightly. But they're not a really good football team. But you still got to take them lightly. They're not the team that won it. But they're still a team that could beat you if you're not focused, if you don't play your A game, if you don't stick to your assignments and your game plan. You still got to go out there and beat them. This is not like you're going out there and playing a bad team. You're playing a good team. Anybody left at this point is a good team. That sweep left play on Mailata play is unstoppable. The running back sweep, yeah, absolutely. When you get Jordan Mailata running in front of you with a head of steam, if I was a defensive player, Todd, and I was trying to make a tackle and I see Jordan Mailata running at me, I'm just going to pull a James Bradbury or Darius Slay from last year and be like, you're good. Here you go. I'll step out of the way. I don't need to get pancaked by Jordan Mailata. Not at all. Did you know Sam Darnold had more passing yards than Stafford last week? That means, thanks, mister. Appreciate that piece of knowledge right there. It must be a Stoutland thing. He must hate scheming screen games. I don't know what it is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And you know about how effective that play could be with our offensive line blocking. I also think that maybe it has to do with Jalen Hurts as well. And something that, I saw some people talk about, we really have never really discussed it too much. Jalen Hurts is a shorter wide running or quarterback. He's got 5 offensive linemen. All of them are 6'5" and bigger. Hard for him to see over it. When you run those traditional screen passes, you let the defense run forward. Can he not see over them to dump the pass to the running back in that style of a screen pass? I don't know. There's a couple content creators and media folks discussing some of the issues in the passing game being his height as a part of the issue. And maybe there is something to that. And maybe that's part of the problem in the screen game. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not saying any problems with Jalen Hurts. I'm just saying maybe the height has something to do with it. I don't, because you got to see over and get the ball over in a very short distance some people's heads. There needs to be a play installed into the Eagles offense where Mailata gets the ball. Yeah, I've been calling it since the day he was drafted. When they showed that first rugby play, the first second he was drafted, I've been calling for it. Calling for it. Would love it. Line him up as a fullback. William Refrigerator Perry style. On the goal line. Forget the tush push for one play. Give me Jordan Mailata. Rushing touchdown, 1 yard. Give it to me. Nobody going to stop him. No way. Here's another thing you could do. You want the bubble screen to a wide receiver to work? Don't have Devontae Smith blocking. Devontae Smith puts out so much effort. Send in Fred Johnson to play left tackle or something like that. And line Jordan Mailata up as a wide receiver, as an eligible receiver. And have him blocking for Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown or Dallas Goedert on the bubble screen. Put him out there. See what the defenses think of that. Could you imagine the confusion on defense if you lined up Jordan Mailata as an eligible receiver on the outside? The defense would be like, what the hell is going on here? Look at that. I just created a new play. And you can run it opposite direction if you got to. When he wasn't on is as rubbing his wounds. Even the tight end chip screen we never run. The double misdirection WP screen. Yeah. We haven't run in so long, it might actually work. Some stretch plays if they try to crowd the box. Love a good stretch play. The Rams will blitz heavy to put decision-making on Hurts. And look, Todd, go look up his numbers. Last week against the blitz, he was nearly perfect against the blitz. See, the thing is, everybody thinks Jalen Hurts is bad against the blitz. He's not actually. He's actually pretty good against the blitz, especially recently, at least in a completion percentage style. Just look up the numbers. It doesn't matter. Darnold had more passing yards. That means Stafford sucks, and Darnold is Montana. We weren't a great screen with Doug P. Yeah, I think Andy Reid was the end of the great traditional screen. I don't even think Chip Kelly ran it that often. The problem with giving Mylar the ball is who do you put in at left tackle? Yeah, obviously. We're not talking about doing it regularly. We're talking about doing it once, Philly style. You put Fred Johnson out there. You put Tyler Steen. You rotate the line around. I don't know. There's got to be a play that they've practiced occasionally in the preseason or training camp or practice with it. There's got to be. Got to be a play that's been practiced. I'm not sure, but there's got to be a play. Myalata takes a snap for the tush push. Nobody. Yeah, just line him up as the tush push, guy. Who's going to stop that? The only problem with running Myalata as the tush push guy, he might kill Cam Jurgens trying to plow over him. He might pancake Cam Jurgens. That would be my only concern there. Foreshadowing. Josh Allen even better at the brotherly shove. Get Josh Allen crap out of here. I wish we still had Stoll. He was a tremendous blocker. I mean, he was on the team like 65 times over the last 2 years. Calcaterra is a terrible blocker. Dallas Goedert's turned into a good blocker for sure. Jordan Mailata as a tight end. Interesting. I know we know he can run with the football from his rugby highlights. Can he catch? That would be interesting. I like that. How tall Hurts? He's not very tall. I don't know the exact number. I think he's like 6 foot, maybe 6'1" with heels on. Mailata outside is nuts. It's a nuts idea. Completely out there. Line him up as a wide receiver to block for somebody on a wide receiver screen. Just saying. It would be interesting. And at the very least, the defense would get confused and maybe you run the opposite way and then you run that way, a stretch play to his side. And he can do a little crackback block or something. He can do so many things. I just think the idea of it, totally asinine, never will happen, but kind of hilarious at the same time. Yeah, I think he's 6'1", something like that. Do they actually pass him? Is he blocking for a screen? Just toss it to Barkley. Dude, just think about that, Judd. You don't got to do it regularly. Just once a game, you throw that out there. Confuse them. I could keep Hurts shut down, but then you got Barkley. Exactly. What's up, Deeps? Finally getting over Nakobe's injury. That one straight up got it. I'm still not over it. Deeps, you probably know I'm a massive Nakobe Dean supporter. Have been since the day we drafted him. He was a guy we got him in the 3rd round. When he was on the board in the 2nd round, I was like, scoop this man up. I like Nakobe Dean. And the season he had this year and the growth he made this year is special. And it's a damn shame because it's going to be a contract year next year. He might not be ready for the start of the season. It's a shame. It's a damn shame, and I'm still gutted over it. I'm not over it. Jared versus Nasty. Yeah, he is. Do you think they get A.J. Brown going this week? They're going to have to try to get the passing game going, whether it's A.J. Brown or whoever else, Todd. But as K1 says here, his knee is not right. There's definitely something wrong. K1, I would be shocked that after we win the Super Bowl, that right after the parade, that A.J. Brown doesn't go into the knife and have something cleaned up in his knee. There's something wrong in that knee. He's going to need to have surgery. He'll sit out OTAs or whatnot. I would be shocked if A.J. Brown's knee doesn't have surgery after that Super Bowl parade in February. Say what you want about Hurts, but his audibles are good. Jalen Hurts is a lot better than people give him credit for. And Jalen Hurts has had success in the past, just not this year. Because you've got I would love to know what the passing numbers were like for the other 8 running backs that hit 2,000 yards. And did any of those quarterbacks have down years that year because their running back rushed for over 2,000 yards? Love to know. The year before, Dickerson, record. What was the quarterback's passing numbers that year compared to the year before when he didn't rush for 2,100 yards? Like, you got to understand, there's only so many plays a game. And when you got a running back, Saquon Barkley against the Rams last time had over 300 all-purpose yards, 255 rushing yards. Of course, Jalen Hurts isn't going to throw 200 yards. But Jalen Hurts is a smart quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's a winning quarterback. He does whatever it takes to win. On 3rd and 1, worst case, we have a tush-push for the first. Yeah. Dude, I got you convinced on this, don't I, Judd? I'm glad one person sees my vision. A.J. Brown doesn't look fast as he did at the beginning of the season. The knee's hurt. The knee's banged up. It's not 100%. They even said it. They're trying to maintain it as best as they can. It's something that it's a maintenance thing the rest of the year, which means you've got to lean on Jalen Hurts. You've got to lean on Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert. Maybe we continue to see a pass or two go Jahan Dotson's way. Maybe A.J. Brown is hurt, and he's just toughing it out as a decoy out there. Maybe he can't go off for 100 yards. Hopefully Brown's injury is something that can't be made worse. See, the thing is, we don't know. They haven't really given us any information on what's actually wrong with A.J. Brown. So move Mailata over to tight end and Steen to left tackle and have the team down block to the left with Kenny Gainwell on the screen and let Barkley pick a hold. Yeah, look. Come on. I need to see, I've been asking for this since day one, more creativity with Jordan Mailata out there. I mean, the guy literally is a behemoth. Like, he would be the lead. Who would he be? I'm trying to think of, would he be Hulk on the Avengers? He would, because he just smashed everybody in his way. Which Eagle would be which Avenger? It's something I'm just thinking about off the top of my head here. I predict AJ snap on Hurts soon. Stop. That's nonsense. I just hope AJ's not got the Jay Ajayi. That's, well, you got to think about it, K1. I mean, he missed the playoffs last year, right? I think 2 of the last 3 years he's missed time at the end of the season because of that knee, right? He's had knee. I think that was the concern coming out of Tennessee, why they didn't want to give him the big extension, was because of the knee. Concerns. Just saying. I'm not positive, but I think so. Rookie Blake Fish at edge has 8 sacks already. Okay. Didn't Terrell Davis win a Super Bowl with his 2K year? He had close to 2K both years that they won a Super Bowl. He definitely had it one time. That was John Elway. I wonder did John Elway's numbers take a regular season dip slightly that year because Terrell Davis rushed for 2,000 yards? Probably. I remember touchdown Terrell Davis, man. I remember that. He was lights out for a few years there in Denver. So cold, chat. It is. Well, because you trash talked Fairway to Heaven, so you're going to get the cold shoulder from us. But if A.J. Brown has another injured playoffs, what makes me think he won't get the JoJo treatment? Or try to sneak a Sixers jab in there. I firmly believe that the NBA stepped in to fire Sam Hinkie. The NBA needs to step in and force Josh Harris to sell the team. The last night Sixers game, didn't watch it, but check the box score. No Tyrese Maxey, no Joel Embiid, no Paul George, no Caleb Martin. Literally, they ran a 10-win process team out there and got smoked last night. Nick Nurse has quit on the team. Literally, the most embarrassing point in Sixers history is going on right now. Embarrassment. It's supposed to snow Sunday. Is it like real snow? Like what? Like it was supposed to snow, then it stopped on my phone, and now it's back on my phone. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'll hit up that whack job, John Blair, and see what he says. Buffalo's cold. Well, it's cold here in PA too. It's freezing cold. TMC is a real bazootin' hoot today. Yeah, he is. He's a hoot, all right. Line up Mailata in the backfield at running back line. Saquon up at tight end. Handoff to Mailata, sweep, then running back throws to Saquon. Look, I got you all being creative with game plans now, don't I? I love to see Kellen Moore shock the world and utilize a blasting game for 10-plus snaps. Absolutely. Look, it's weird. Like, we start to see, like 6, 7, 8 snaps a game from Ben Van Sumeren at fullback. Then Ben Van Sumeren goes down, and they bring in blasting game. They add him to the roster, and they're using him, once, twice? I'm shocked they're not trying to. He's been here long enough to know the system. I'm shocked, Deebs, that they're not trying to use him a little bit more. They're putting Jalen Hurts under center occasionally. Not much, but occasionally. But they're not using blasting game much at all. And it's kind of, I think he had, one snap last week? Bobby Brown is questionable. Bobby Brown, the singer. I didn't know he played football too. Sixers need to be investigated for fraud. If I was a Sixers fan and I paid money to go see last night's game, I would be literally calling a certain lawyer and demanding a lawsuit to get my money back. That was an embarrassment, that lineup that they rolled out there. Go figure. You sign a bunch of over the hill players and you expect something better than what you saw last night. The most embarrassing season in my lifetime as a Sixers fan. Oh, Sixers are brutal. I don't even watch them. I don't even know. What did I put on TV last night after Fairway to Heaven? I don't even know what was on my TV. I was watching a movie. I was flipping between the Jack Reacher movie and another movie. I forget what other movie it was. But both movies I'd seen before. What show you streaming? Who cares? Nobody cares. Ellie was outside out. Okay, that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago, Barb. That's not in the front portion of my memory bank. That's like way buried in the very back of the brain. Recessed memories right there. How many likes are on the video? Make sure you guys hit that like button. You're watching Trend in the AM. Like, subscribe, and share, please. The race to 500 is on. I still haven't finished Better Call Saul. I never even watched it. I want to, but I don't know if I can get hooked on another show like I did Breaking Bad. That's right. If I was a Sixers fan that paid hard-earned money, and I know Chet from Philly Press Box Radio, and they got a great episode tonight. Bob Cooney, 97.5, will be on this channel tonight, 7 p.m., plus some former Eagles players from back in the day. And TMZ, for you, they're going to have 2 former USFL players on the show tonight, right here on this channel. So make sure you tune in. Press Box Radio at 7 p.m. But I know Chet was at the Sixers game. If I paid hard-earned money, I'd be suing the Sixers for putting that product out there. Why would you pay? Why would you watch them for free? It's all Embiid's fault, is it? I mean, it's a lot of people's fault. It's Daryl Morey's fault. It's Embiid's fault. It's a lot. It's Josh Harris's fault. It's a lot of people's fault. I have written off the Sixers. I'm on the train. Trade them all and build around Maxey. Look, crazy thing I'm going to say right now, Big Al. You can't even build around Maxey because if you trade everybody else, by the time you get good again, Maxey's going to be 28 years old. If I'm the Sixers, I'm trading Joel for pennies, trading Paul George right now, and I'm trading Tyrese Maxey because he's the one that will get you the biggest return out of all the stars you've got on this team. And then you build around Jarrett McCain next year. You just start. I don't want to go through the process again, but I also don't want to be stuck in the 8 to 10 seed again. So you just start all over again. You strip it down. I call Sam Hinkie and be like, yo, you want another shot at it? Lifetime contract. That's what you do. Wrecked Elway in the championship game the other day. Look, I was a huge Jim Kelly fan. I was. Sixers are going all eye on tonight's game. Are going all what? I'm sorry. All eye? All out? I'm not sure there. Refresh that. You have more likes than Embiid, Maxey, George. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's more likes on that, Mitchie Poo, on this video than they had minutes played last night, and that ain't hard. Shea Smith signed with the Stallions. Who? What? Does Maxey want to be built around here? Exactly. I mean, I really, truly believe, Judd, that Maxey's issues this year, struggles this year, are because of the frustrations. I'd be shocked if he didn't want maybe a fresh scenario. He's losing that smile. Mid Maxey, no. Maxey's a great player. They should also move Yabu ASAP. Yeah, go for it. Move them all. Just call up the Blue Coats at this point. Play Justin Edwards every game at this point. They basically play G Leaguers and guys that should be on AARP right now last night. Not sure I'd want to have the same decade Embiid just did. You know, a Facebook memory popped up yesterday or 2 days ago on my Facebook page, Judd, and it was from the night after or the day after that Joel Embiid did that dance with the pom-poms and the cheerleaders. It was in 2017. In 2017, we had so much hope and hype from the Sixers. And I miss that fun Joel. I miss that fun hype, that fun hope of the future. I miss that. But, geez, it went downhill fast. Real fast. All in on tonight. Gotcha. Who do they play? I don't even know who they play. I'm so tuned out on the Sixers, Barbara. So tuned out on them right now. Like, I could care less about a Sixers game right now. This is Josh Allen. Glow up and whatever. Forget that. Hit the like and sub to get it. Let's go. Race to 500 is on, people. It takes more than just me to get this channel to where it needs to be. You want me to do more shows? We got to get this to a certain place so we can continue doing more shows. So, guys, like, sub, and if you've done that, share. It's all it takes. What? I don't know. You're just throwing random words in the chat. When do we get to the point in the show where we stop talking about the Sixers and clown Cutter Gautier? Yeah, look at me, Freddie. The first time I started, my first podcast was in April of 2020. I think this is the first time ever that I've rocked the Flyers shirt live on the air. Just so you know, I got my Flyers on, not my Sixers, my Flyers. Yeah, he's fired from his company. He's got a 60,000 sub channel. He's a lot. They play the New York Knicks tonight. They will troll us. Look, is it in Philly? I guess I can look up. I got the box score from last night. Last night they started Yabusele, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon, Kelly Oubre, and Ricky Council. My God, that's brutal. Pete Nance, who they just signed yesterday to a two-way, played 18 minutes. Justin Edwards, Adem Bona, and Jeff Doughton Jr. That was your lineup last night. That was your 9-man rotation last night. Where's Tony Roten? Where's Hollis Thomas when you need somebody? Hollis Thompson, sorry. Hollis Thomas is, other. Sorry, my bad on that. But you don't know deadass. It means, I know what it means. I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Honestly, sucks. College football is nearly over. The Eagles only have a few games left. Zero interest. I mean, I will say this. Pitchers and catchers reporting about 4 weeks. So we got some baseball on the horizon. And then as soon as the Eagles season ends, we can start draft talk and free agency talk after the parade down Broad Street. So we got about 3 weeks worth of football left, 4 weeks worth of football left. And then we've got the offseason and we got Phillies. And we will occasionally, like today, dump on the Sixers. That's what we will do. Yeah, I know. My man Joe Castro, I know he's going down to the Senior Bowl to do some scouting. I like to see that. Frederick Phil's a Tory guy. I'm a Jesse. Who cares? But we still have the Flyers. We still have the Flyers. And hence why I'm rocking it. I'm showing the support. Super Bowl. The Bills are the one guy wearing the Flyer shirt for the first time since he started shooting. Look. Oh, look at me. Hey, I've lost. I have not denied it, Freddie Defoe, that I lost my love of the Flyers over the last 5 years. But as I lose my love of the Sixers, my Flyers love is coming back. Because I got to substitute the Sixers with something. I've watched, honestly, more minutes of hockey than basketball this year. And that's pathetic. Yeah, what is a Flyer anyway? I don't know. Let's start a petition and send it to the NBA. Adam Silver complaining about Josh Harris and Daryl Morey. Like I said, mister, they already forced out one person in Sam Hinkie. Can't they force out these two bums? Let's restore a once proud franchise by forcing out the people in charge of the franchise. Still needs a Flyers pennant or a Mitchkov bobblehead. A Mitchkov bobblehead would be perfect. I could put it right there. Right there. I got to dig out. I got a Flyers jersey somewhere. It's just a sweat, no name on the back of it. I got to dig that out. It's really warm on cold days, too. Not a good Flyer. So look, I am what I am. The bar has been set really low for James Franklin. Oh, we're talking Penn. Now we want to move into Penn State. Yeah. Whatever. my life has been better once I realized I had no reason why I was supporting Penn State football anymore. It has. It has taken away my love of college football because without a team to root for, whatever. But Penn State disappoints as always. Noah Coates is the only dude showing much elevated ceiling lately. 76ers are a clown show. That we can agree on. Is Phil Buss in chat? What? Only way I'm back on the Sixers if they bring back Phil E. Moose. You know what I wanted? And I said this at the beginning of the season or before the season started, sometime in the offseason, in like camp and all. The Sixers needed to restart their way of doing business. You know, do away with the bell ringing. You know, do away with bricking for chicken or the freeze out, frosty freeze out, whatever it is. You know, we don't need all these games. We need wins. We need championships. We don't need that entertainment. We need the other entertainment, which is wins. But they're so focused on the other things and the money aspect of things that there is nothing that could bring me back. Nothing. Even if the bunny comes back, what was his name? Hops, whatever. They scrapped the Sixers Stadium downtown because the Sixers blow. No, they scrapped the Sixers Stadium downtown because the stadium downtown was never going to happen. It was a leverage play by Josh Harris and his ownership group to stay where they are and get Comcast to build them a new stadium. And this whole stadium situation, Todd, is exactly why Josh Harris is a scumbag. He don't care about anybody. He just cares about the bottom dollar and the money. And that's why you'll never win with the Sixers with Josh Harris as the owner, with Daryl Morey as the executive in charge. Never going to happen. Flyers a gambling term, basically take a low chance bet because the odds are so good. And I got a flyer, K1, on Christian Bazunhoot at 80-1 to win the Amex this week, just so you know. Flyers are also the crap of advertising they used to give you on the streets for strip clubs. Yeah, absolutely. Gritty is the worst. Wow, that's a hot take right there. That's a Dan Simpleman type take. That's a Skip Payless type take. There's a lot of people that love Gritty. Hip Hop, that was the basketball guy's name. I'm sorry, but this whole Mitchkoff press feels like hope forced upon us by a team that has just fallen behind. No, I think Mitchkoff's the real deal. I do. Sixers Stadium is perfect where it is, and they're going to build a new one right there. He was the worst mascot until he became the best mascot. Yes. I remember when they revealed his face, and everybody's like freaking out about it. Yeah, just Google it. Google me. What happens if you Google me? It's a post-mortem. Yeah. Gritty's the Flyers mascot. What the heck? He's orange. Yeah, what do you think people think when they see it? See Gritty for the first time. Like, what the I want to know who designed Gritty and what they were on when they did it. Like, we know who designed Swoop. That was Joe Pepe. Okay? My man Joe Pepe. He won a contest to design and name. No, he designed a contest to name Swoop. Where did Gritty come from? Like, a bunch of guys like Seth MacFarlane in a room smoking something, drinking something. I'm like, oh, let's design the ugliest thing in the world and make it a mascot. And it was so ugly, it became the most famous mascot. It's kind of crazy. You are the real deal, Mitchy Poo. Mitchkovsky. Mitchkoff. You are the real deal. My man. You are a righteous, bogus Eagles fan, but that's another whole subject for another day. But you are the real deal. You're a real deal, righteous, bogus Eagles fan. Plain and simple. Let's do a fanatic, only hideous and retarded. Yeah, like, what's going on in the minds of people? Like, was it a bunch of guys in a room? Or was it one cartoon artist? Like, who did they talk to about it? Like, I don't know where it came from. But it still is one of the most hilarious things that has happened in a very long time in Philadelphia sports. And there is no doubt about it. Gritty came from the pits of hell. The ugly is what makes him acceptable. Yeah, if he was a little less ugly, he would be a little less popular for sure. For sure. That dude's been on talk shows. That dude's been all over TV. commercials, everything for a long time. Gritty was supposed to be a slap in the face to the NHL. Well, we need to slap in the face of the NBA. We need to come up with a Gritty for the Sixers. Sour Diesel look like who? What? I don't know what that is. That guy actually thinks that he can piss people off. Mitch. The little sidebar chats that me and Mitch have that no one gets. I love it. I love it. Be careful, Mitch. There's people that like him around here. From the hottest parts of Tar Nation. What in the Tar Nation is going on here? There's my worst impersonation of the day. Anyway, let's throw the line in. Let's reel the fishing line in here, or however you do that. I don't know much about fishing. Let's reel it on in. We have a Gritty in the NBA. Oh man, I'm trying to reel it back in here, Duck, and get the ball back, on the court here. Get the conversation back on line here, and you got to drop this line right here. Oh my God, seriously, Duck. I mean, this is a comment right here that just shuts shows down. I love it. Absolutely love this comment. But also, trying to reel it back in. I think you're all out. I'm trying to reel you back in. And then you drop this line right here. What are you doing? Mitchie Poo is our Gritty. Man, you guys are on fire tonight. This is not a show to build followers. This is a show for the people because you guys are just on fire today. Part owner of the Commanders and Magic Johnson. That has to be a conflict of interest. Magic Johnson is part owner of the LA Sparks. Look, Josh Harris bought the New Jersey Devils so he can afford to buy the Sixers, so he can afford to buy the Commanders. All he ever wanted was a football team. He bought the other teams to get the funding. Look, Josh Harris is the worst owner in Philadelphia. He's the worst owner in Philadelphia probably since Norman Brayman, maybe Leonard Toast, depending on who you want to go with. Josh Harris will not allow the Sixers to win a title as long as he's in charge and running this organization. I cannot, in my life, and Norman Brayman was very young, Phil, I cannot remember being this frustrated with an owner ever. I mean, at least Jeffrey Lurie's been around since 93, so it's been a while. And, John Middleton's in charge of the Phillies right now, but even David Montgomery, when he was the lead guy for the Phillies, had some, hope with him. Josh Harris is the worst owner in Philadelphia for decades now. So them Eagles are doing okay. They kept by. Yeah. Look, it's funny. We talking about all these different sports teams and stuff like that. And I don't think we appreciate Jeffrey Lurie and him being an owner. And I know John Middleton talks about stupid money and all, but Jeffrey Lurie is the gold standard of ownership in the NFL and in sports in general. Not just as a businessman, turning a $285 million investment into a multi-billion-dollar investment. He constantly keeps the team afloat. He doesn't accept crap. He'll fire a Super Bowl winning coach without a problem. He'll eat dead cat money if it makes the team better in the long run. He literally will do it. He's fantastic with the community and the charity that Jeffrey Lurie is in. I don't think there's a better owner in sports right now, at least in my opinion, than Jeffrey Lurie, in all aspects of everything. Leonard Toast was a degenerate. Man after my. That's why he's not the worst, because he was a degenerate gambler. He would probably have been watching Fairway to Heaven, back in the day. So you're saying there's a chance Harris will sell the Sixers and Devils. I'm not saying there's a chance, but maybe. Yeah. I think Harris is waiting for that new stadium deal so he makes some more money off the sponsorships, but yeah. What's up, Eric? Good morning. Eric is the newest fan of Fairway to Heaven. That boy was there for a good 30 minutes making jokes about golfers last night. Love it, Eric. Good morning to you. My old man still swears that Toast talked Jaworski into throwing the Super Bowl in '80 so he could pay off his gambling debts. It's believable. It's believable. I don't think Jaws is that kind of player, though. Pro Football Focus, Cooper DeJean ranked 4 out of 223. Nope. Cooper DeJean has been fantastic this year. The gatekeeper is here, so the show, 55 minutes in, can officially begin. Maybe we can reel this back into Eagles talk, Sixers talk, not sarcasm. Let's reel it back in. Let's get back apart. Guys, you're watching Trade in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. Like, subscribe, share, do it all. Please, please, please do all that stuff for me. Greatly appreciate it. As we're talking Eagles, as we get set for the Rams, as we talk about what the game plan should be against the Rams, as we're talking ownership because of how disastrous the Sixers are at this point, how much of an embarrassment they are. I'll tell you this about the Sixers. I watched more of the 10-win 2015 Sixers than I have this year. I watched every game because there was hope. There is no hope with the Sixers. So we're talking Eagles game plan, Rams, how to take them seriously and respect them as opponents. We're talking Sixers. Let's keep it back on par here. Laurie is one of the examples of good, consistent ownership who is all around great. But you know what happens when you blow up an owner. There will be some news that shows him to be a – look, you know what's funny? I think there's been opportunities for that to show its head, but Laurie isn't that type of person. I mean, he's divorced. He's remarried. He's still close with his wife. Like that could have been a scandal. Him with his new mistress or whatever. I don't know what that whole situation played out, but like there were opportunities for that to happen. I mean, he is a movie producer in Hollywood as well. Opportunities. There's a lot of scumbags in Hollywood in producing to be a third person, but it's never come out. And at this point, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not ever going to be found to be a third person. I think he's a genuine person. Let's tighten it up. Let's go. Reel the delusional Eagles fans back in. That's what I do. Make you see just one side of the equation, Mitch, because that's what I do. I make you see only one side. No more shenanigans. I mean, the shenanigans of tomfoolery are great. Problem is that they don't grow a channel. They just keep you guys happy. They don't build the channel. Rams are in the bushes waiting to be sacrificed. We hunting whams. We hunting whams right now. Does that mean we get to watch Jane Fonda videos? What? I think the process Sixers was better, more heart in the. Absolutely. I remember cheering on. They beat the Heat once in that 10-win season. I remember, like, look at that. Look at the heart. Look at them get that win. Totally makes everything worth it. Not anymore. At least in 2015, we were being lied to and were given the common courtesy of a reach around. We weren't being lied to in 2015. We were. I see the warrant. Yeah, we weren't being lied to. We were told the truth. And that's why I respected Sam Hinkie so much. Like, look, guys, we're going to lose. We're going to lose a lot. But in the end, we're going to have a plan. And unfortunately, he wasn't here to see that plan through to fruition. Cue up Madonna, baby. Darius Slay ranked 69, dead ass. What? Darius Slay's had a very good season this year. Laurie, new wife, is hotter than his ex. Well, yeah, she's younger. For sure. But his wife is still there at every game in the box with his new wife because she's still part owner of the team as well. I guess in the divorce, she got a percentage of the ownership. I don't know. They carry on a very respectable, at least in public, image. All of them. So Jeffrey Lurie, the reason why we're here, the reason why we're in the playoffs 4 years in a row with a Super Bowl appearance, a Super Bowl victory 8 years ago, the reason why we've been such a consistent force dating back to Ray Rhodes' era. Let's be honest. Since the Ray Rhodes era, how many times have we missed the playoffs since Ray Rhodes took over as head coach of the Eagles? Probably 5 times. And that's in 20 years, 30 years, 30 years. Missed the playoffs 5 times, 6 times in 30 years. Like, that's because of Jeffrey Lurie and the culture he's built down in South Philly there. There is a reason the song called Like a Virgin, because there's no I just thought it's like we joked about in the past. Can Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman buy the Sixers? Why not? Does any owner in any city own multiple teams in the same city? Obviously, Josh Harris owns 3 sports teams, but they're in 3 different franchise cities. 3 different franchises in 3 different cities. Does anybody own a basketball and football team in the same city, or a football and a baseball team, or a basketball and baseball team in the same city? Because I would absolutely, I'd be okay with Jeffrey Lurie teaming up with John Middleton to buy the Sixers. Let's keep it all together. Why not? How old? I don't know. She's much younger than him. I'm not sure the age. Google it. I am Vietnamese. I am not fond of her for her previous politics. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. 69 rank is right up. Yeah, exactly. Where's Mitchie Poo for that, right? Lori showed us the proper way to move on in his marriage. He didn't blow the team up, rebuild on the fly. Then he sold a percentage of Eagles and probably recoup. Yeah, I mean, well, he sold a percentage of his team because I think he's going to build a new stadium. I know the Linc is still state of the art, but I have a feeling that within 10 years, the Linc will be gone, 10, 12 years, and we'll have a new retractable roof stadium. I think he sold that 10% for $850 million to free up capital. He might sell another 10%, get another billion, and then he'll have enough money to build a new stadium with a retractable roof, with a dome, so you can attract college football playoff games, so you can attract, WrestleManias, Olympics, so you can attract, concerts in the wintertime. That's why I think that Lori sold percentage of the team. I don't know nothing. I don't. Duck, I have one question. Vietnamese restaurant or Vietnamese palace? What? I don't even know what that is. Okay, Lori and his group could buy the Sixers just based on leveraging the value of the Eagles alone. He may be able to find the fund just on his ownership percentage. He's probably got enough money. I mean, I don't know what the Sixers' value is right now. I'm not sure what the value is of the Sixers. Obviously, much less than what the Eagles' value is. But I'm sure Jeffrey Lurie's got the money. Him and Middleton could do it together. But it still doesn't answer the question, has this ever happened before? And I'm not sure if it has. Not sure if it's ever happened before. But it's interesting. What's up, Jose? Had a rough night. Oh, it's okay. I'm positive this conversation came up, but what is your true opinion about Trotter Jr. finally being in the spotlight? Jose, look, so I'm mixed on Trotter Jr. I thought Oren Burks had to be the guy. But when Vic Fangio speaks, I listen. I respect Vic Fangio's opinion. And Vic Fangio, Jose said, he has a great future, and his future may be now. And the last time he spoke about somebody like that was Jalen Hunt, and Jalen Hunt broke out in the next couple of weeks. He said that during the bye about Cooper DeJean. And after the bye, Cooper DeJean was the starter. So I have a feeling that we're not going to see Trot start per se, but I think if you had a breakup, say there was 100 snaps, it's going to be 60-40 Burks Trotter out there. You're going to see some Trot Jr. out there. And I think Vic Fangio will find the right spots to put him in, to succeed, to build his confidence. And if we continue on this path, maybe by the Super Bowl, Trot Jr. might be the starter for them, opposite of Zach Bond. Trotter Jr. is going to be the starter in place of Nakobe Dean until he comes back next year as well. So it's interesting. They also brought in old friend Nicholas Morrow to the practice squad, who has some experience in Fangio schemes. So Jose, so they're doing their best to fill in this massive hole lost by the Nakobe Dean issue. I don't like the idea of playing rookies for their first games because he hasn't played much. Like, if he had played all year, it's one thing, but he's barely played all year. Like, I don't like the idea of rookies like Trotter Jr. with his minimal experience in this big situation, but we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about here. From a working family, I wish Lori would buy the Sixers. That would be awesome. I think it would be fantastic. Hell, you know what you should do? Let Howie Roseman buy. I bet you Howie Roseman could get the money to do it. He can still run the Eagles, and he can own the Sixers, and he can hire one of his proteges to run the Sixers for him. Whatever it takes. Bruce Almighty for a day. I definitely make that happen. Yeah, absolutely. You would never want to give me God powers, even for a minute, none the less a day. The world, yeah. Me too. Me too, Duck. Absolutely. Give me those powers for one day. What would be the first thing you do, Duck? Actually, I don't know if I want to ask that. Mid-40s, still pretty young, Duck. Don't be like Phil and grab your back like you. Dude, why are we making fun of the fact I got a bad back? I've got decades of food service work weighing down on my back right now. Duck, help me with yeah, look. Not my style of cuisine. A kitchen faucet of 52. I could grab my back all the time. But stuff doesn't get done if I just yeah, exactly. We still got to find a way to get our asses out of bed every morning, right? We still got to find a way to get the job done, right? Guys, Let's keep this going here. Eagles, Sixers. 4 weeks till spring training. What else is there to talk about? We're dying in the algorithm today. You guys are killing the algo today. There are only a dozen people in the YouTube room right now. We were up to 20 at one point. You guys have killed it today with those likes and shares, right? Duck, I was just asking which restaurant had the better food. Act like a boomer. 50 ain't old. Look, I might be 44, but I got the body breakdown of a 75-year-old man. Lori joins new investor group Phil and the Core 12 and purchases the 76ers. Dude, Lori could buy the Sixers and put me in charge. I don't know anything about salary caps or contracts or whatever, but I'd fix the Sixers in a heartbeat. Put me as CEO. I'll hire a damn good GM. Probably fire the coach. No offense to Nick Nurse. Does anybody else listen to Nick Nurse talk to the media and think he's a coach that's given up already? And we're only, what, at the half? Are we even at 40 games played yet? Hold on, I got to look here. 15 and 23. We're at 38 games, so we're not even at the halfway point yet. And I kind of feel like Nick Nurse wants to be fired at this point. Wants to be fired. It's pathetic. It's sad. It's a shame. But I kind of feel like he wants to. So I just give him what he wants. Fire him. That's what I would do. Every time I ask Phil a question, yeah, because half your questions don't make sense. The other half the time, your questions and comments aren't relevant to anything that anybody else cares about. You're always off. Your comments don't make sense. You need to read your things before you hit enter, just so you know. They're basically the same now. I don't even know if I've ever eaten in a Vietnamese restaurant, to be honest with you. Common sense back in the world, that would set the government. Yeah, exactly. Phil, if I was given God powers for a minute, I would give myself God powers forever. That is why you should never give me that kind of. But what if you weren't the part of the rules from God was you can't have them forever. You only get them for 24 hours. And you can't, that's the one rule. You give yourself all the wealth in the world, everything you want. But one rule is you can't give yourself the power forever. That's the only rule to it there. And that's going to really do wonders to the algorithm today, right? I like Pad Thai for Thai. There's a great Thai restaurant in Kennett Square that the owner unfortunately recently passed away, and they're closing it down. Really good food. Their drunken noodles were amazing in that place. Don't know what the recipe was, but it was high quality. High quality. Vietnam pho and the subs. Yeah, I don't know much. I'm not a big Asian cuisine person. Just never my thing. Too many vegetables that I'm not big fans of in it. Not a huge soy sauce fan. It's just the style of cooking is just not my kind. The first thing I would do is find a loophole with my guy like that. Oh my goodness gracious. Your first thing wouldn't be to guarantee the Eagles win the Super Bowl or that the Sixers win a championship. Big fan of a good banh mi sandwich. Never had it, Rick. Never had it. I'm sure Nick Nurse, like everyone else, is shell-shocked how the season gone. Is he shell-shocked and just like kind of hoping to be fired, Jose? Because that's how I feel Nick Nurse is. You listen to him talk, and he's just – I said it during training camp, how short-tempered he was getting with the media when asked about Joel Embiid's ramp-up process. He looked like he was already out on the Sixers team. So I don't get it. It's a shame. And, where's Josh? We've been bashing on Josh Harris being a bad owner, right? Where's Josh Harris been the last month, week, year? Has he made one statement about the Sixers? Has he addressed the dreadfulness of his team? No, because Josh Harris doesn't care. And it's plain and simple. If Josh Harris cared, he'd be front and center right now. He'd be making statements about this. But he doesn't care. I'm sure he's probably still sitting courtside with famous people nonstop because he cares about his money and he cares about being famous. But this is pathetic. Josh Harris should be addressing these things. Josh Harris should make a statement by doing something, firing somebody, whatever. Don't let Daryl Morey go into the trade line and waste assets. Spring rolls and summer rolls. A guy in the drive-thru literally called his manager because I gave him $21 to pay for $9.90 bill. Yeah, dude. I've had Eric people, staff members get stuff like that and have to void the order out and start over again because they can't do the math in their head. It's pretty comical. Yeah. Who pays with cash anyway? Nick Nurse knew exactly how the season was going to go during the offseason. He knows no coach or manager is completely blind. Look, but I think he wants out. I do think he's mentally tapped out on this team at this point. I think he wants to be done. Their new kids can't do basic math. No, not at all. Not at all. Math. I like how you said math. That's how my grandma would say it. My grandma couldn't say the TH. The Sixers game plan should be put Embiid on IR for the rest of the season, tank the season. We'll see. The problem is we only get top 5 or top 6. Otherwise, it goes off to whoever. And they've won too many games already for that, Rick. So I don't think that's possible. Your best bet is to let him play 5 more games the rest of the season and showcase what he's got to hopefully be able to trade him for something. That's the hope. Joel Embiid needs to man up, take some PEDs, and get his ass on the court. Yeah, there you go. There's the answer. Math is sarcasm, just in case some of yeah, exactly. Math. It's how old Italian ladies can't pronounce the TH sound either. Duck, check out Chef Chun in Washington Township. South Jersey transplant in Ohio. Columbus Blue Jackets whip the Flyers. Buckeyes about to beat Notre Dame. Still love the Birds and Phils. Hey, look at that kid. Look, I went to Columbus once for a weekend many moons ago. My sister-in-law at the time was dating an Ohio State student. And we went out, me and my wife and my sister-in-law drove out there for the weekend so they could hang out. And let's just say it was the most weird town in the world. Because when we would drive from Ohio State to the city, there were so many abandoned houses. But yet the downtown Columbus was so cool, so many trendy restaurants. And then 2 feet away were a bunch of more abandoned houses and buildings. Like, I didn't understand it. There was one big business there, one huge skyscraper, and that was it. That and the university. There were like barbed wires or barred windows in the hotel we were staying at. But yet, there was this like super trendy downtown area. I have no idea how to describe what it was like in Columbus when I was there. It was one of the weirdest cities in the world there. Bill's money is a human-created object given value by human minds. Yeah. We agreed to make ourselves sales the paper. Yeah. You're getting real serious, Duck. Real serious there. I think the Sixers used up their tank quota. I feel like the NBA would wipe its ass with the if they tried, there's no way we would get a top pick anyway. So yeah. Blue Jackets won in a shootout in overtime yesterday. They didn't whoop the Flyers. I didn't even know the Flyers played last night. I'm rocking a Flyers jersey, and I didn't even know that. Phil got that paper. I don't get much paper, honestly. Yeah, you know how many days at the pizza shop I go home with no cash and with negative cash because 99% of the orders are paid on credit card, and I got to pay out tips out of that. Can't stay in Notre Dame, but I hope they beat the Buckeyes. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm over my Penn State love, but I still don't like Ohio State. So yeah, Columbus is a mix in New York City and West Virginia. I hope that helps. Maybe that's why there's a lot of trendiness and a lot of dumpster fires as well, Duck. Maybe that explains it a little bit better right there. Maybe it does. I'm not sure. Trending in the AM. Shows where we get culture, we get serious talk, we get sports, we get travel talk. We get it all here on Trending in the AM. This has been one of those shows where all over the place. All over the place. But it is what it is. At least tomorrow we'll get a practice report to start the show off to keep us focused. It really is. Like we went out there for the weekend, and I remember eating at this one restaurant in like the downtown area. And it was so freaking amazing. Then I remember going back to the university and then my hotel room and think I'm going to get mugged. Like seriously. Phillies report in 1 month, and I am super like midly excited. Rick, I think the only reason why I have any excitement for the Phillies season is because of how dreadful the Sixers are at this point. The Phillies are basically the same team they were last year, which is a team that's good. The Sixers or the Phillies are basically what the Packers and the Rams are and the Vikings are. Good regular season teams. They're going to win a lot of games. But come playoff time, they're not in the stratosphere of World Series contention. I think that is my best way to describe the Philadelphia Phillies at this point. And it's a shame. So, I'm excited because it'll be better and more entertaining than the Sixers. But by May 1st, May 15th, I'll be bitching and moaning about the Phillies just like I am the Sixers right now. Try and explain to you guys it's the same old every single day. Guarantee it. The only thing you got to bank on is, the best hope we have with the Sixers or the Phillies, the most excitement is that July-ish first start in the bigs for Andrew Painter. That'll be the most exciting time of the year. So back to Eagles. More will he actually get his crap together and start with? Yeah, I keep saying it. I know everyone wants to say Jalen Hurts struggled, but I'm going to say Kellen Moore had a terrible game plan. I find it really hard to believe that, Rick, that this team that's been failing in the playoffs for 3 years just magically like that's going to succeed. I find it hard to believe, Rick. I'm still going to throw a $5 on them winning it, but, I don't have faith in it. Now that McCarthy's available, we'll be able to keep Moore for another season. Kellen Moore did address the Dallas Cowboys open head coaching position yesterday. He was asked about it and all the other interviews, and he did. He didn't say, like, Vic Fangio's like, no, I'm not interested. Or like Kellen Moore just said that stuff will work out. Like, when you hear Kellen Moore talk about the Dallas Cowboys opening, it kind of felt like he already knows that he's going to have that opportunity if he wants it. He's like, it'll work out. It is what it is. We'll get to that when we get to it. But I'm focused on the Eagles right now. So I find it hard to believe that Kellen Moore won't have a head coaching job next season. Plain and simple. I almost feel like the Eagles won despite being outcoached. Yeah, they won because they got the talent. For sure. Philly's got one of the best. They got one of the best. Absolutely. But you still got to score. They had one of the best starting rotations last year. Zach Wheeler is one of, if not the best starting pitcher in baseball. One of the most consistent. Aaron Nola, despite all the hate he gets, a phenomenal pitcher. Christopher Sanchez, great pitcher. They have a rotation. But their offense is the same offense. You're still going to have Schwarber leading off. You're still going to have the same inconsistent, hitters and streaky hitters on this team. Do you have to go to college? I order to root. No, you don't got to. I just don't have a team. How many teams have won more games than past? Yeah, and they still don't have a World Series. And they've gotten worse. World Series, champ, NLCS, NLDS. They're just getting worse. Damn Dodgers has to be huge favorites to run. Yeah, the Dodgers have to be the favorite, for sure. Moore is young. He wants a head coach position. I don't blame Kellen Moore at all. I also wouldn't blame Kellen Moore if he chose not to accept, because the openings that right now and with the Cowboys, you got the Raiders, the Jets, the Jags, the Bears, the Saints. Obviously, the Patriots already filled theirs with overrated Mike Vrabel. Kellen Moore, I think, is going to go to Jacksonville or Dallas. I think it was a lock Jacksonville till Dallas fired McCarthy or moved on from McCarthy. No, I think there's a little competition there. But I truly believe Jacksonville or Dallas will hire Kellen Moore as soon as the Eagles are finished the Super Bowl. They won't even wait for the Eagles parade. They'll do it before the parade. I'm almost guaranteeing that. Phil's starting rotation has the highest margin between its ceiling and floor. So much could go well. So much could go wrong. I don't think there's much. I think the go wrong thing's a stretch. The floor I don't think is as low as you think. Phillies can't seem to play small ball and just wanted exactly. And you kept the same hitting coach that supposedly has been, teaching them this philosophy. Yeah. Sorry, Syracuse and University of Buffalo. I didn't go. So Phil, I did not say that. I just said you can be. I just don't. Kellen Moore staying with the Eagles? Maybe. Maybe he called a bad game plan last week so he doesn't get the opportunity. Dallas Cowturn's going to hire Dion. I wouldn't imagine how you would want to go coach the Dallas. I'm looking at these openings. I think Jacksonville is semi-attractive. You got an average to decent quarterback at least. But the Raiders are a train wreck organization. The Jets are a train wreck. The Cowboys are a train wreck. The Saints in. The Bears in. But man, there's a lot of, just like how Ben Johnson didn't want a job last year. I wouldn't know how you'd want a head coaching job this year either with the openings that are out there. The Colts keeping their head coach. I'd have Steichen back here. Yeah, exactly. Do you really think Moore wants to go to a dumpster fire? I don't know. I don't even know. Like, how did his tenure in Dallas end before he went to the Chargers last year? Is he even on a good terms with the Cowboys and Jerry Jones? You have to think there's still a connection there. I mean, he was a player there and a coach there for so long. I'm not sure what the Vegas odds. I'm not that much of a degenerate, K1. You can bet on literally everything. Who's the next head coach, staying, going. You can bet all that kind of stuff. We're lucky to have the Phillies. They're a top 5 team in Major League Baseball right now. Oh, Rick, I love your optimism. But I don't know, man. They might be a top 5, 6 team in baseball, but come playoff time, I don't think they got it. And that's the problem. They're going to win 90, 92, 95 games again and then come up small in the playoffs because that's what this team does. I find it hard to trust Rob Thompson and this Phillies team, with their bullpen, with their inconsistent offense, and their coach. You can bet literally anything. Yeah. There's literally a line on everything. What is January 20th? Why is that a huge day? That is 5 days from now. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't even know why January 20th. Just looked it up online. Yeah. As of January 14th, the odds for Kellen Moore to become the next head coach of Dallas plus 250. $10 bet wins 35. Yes, exactly. They're pretty solid odds right there. It means he's very likely to get it. I need Eagles to keep winning. Basketball talk stinks. Yeah, that's true. See, it's possible. Vic is going to turn this defense into Thanos with the Infinity Stones next year with continued development. He's just going to snap the opponents away, Eric. That's what he's going to do. All right, guys, we're going to start the wrap-up process here. Time to get to work. Time to make the dough. I need my books with me. I need my golf books because I got to build my fantasy golf lineups for the week. But, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have our first practice report for the Eagles. We'll have our first practice recap for the Eagles. I actually don't expect the Eagles to practice much today, more of a walkthrough with how banged up they are, but we'll see. Delaware State University, yeah, that's right. Hold on. What's up with Delaware State hiring a gang ties type guy, to be their head coach? What kind of statement does that send, Mister? Has ESP said that yet? I'm just curious. Bigly. Our bullpen needed an overhaul, and we did not overhaul it. Thank you very much, Rick. Muchas gracias. Number 8. No, 8 more minutes of value. No, it's when I want to end it. Yeah, let's wrap it up on this sports network, right? More to the Jags is 10-1 now. All right. I wonder what it was before Mike McCarthy walked away. Yeah, no 5. I mean, we still don't have, enough subscribers to do that anyway. Whatever. You're just forcing it, Super Bowl. You're just forcing it there. Guys, we'll know more about the Eagles situation after their first practice today. I don't know what the Rams are doing with the short week, whether they'll be practicing today or not. And if they do, we'll have some information maybe on Tyler Higbee and whatnot for the Rams as well. But I'm sure we will start the show off tomorrow with more to the Saints. Moore's got better odds to go to the Saints than he does Jacksonville. That's surprising to me because he was a finalist for the Jags job with Doug Peterson. So I'm kind of shocked on that. But yeah. But Jacksonville, or the Saints don't have a quarterback, so I don't know. See what we've done to Duck? We've made him a degenerate. That's right. Please, even if you're watching on replay, like, subscribe, follow, share. Do it all, guys. We'll start off with the Eagles practice today and the Rams. Sixers play again tonight, so I'm sure they'll be on the agenda again tomorrow. 80-1, it's worth a $5 on Christian Bozudenhout to win the Amex. I'm telling you. Great course history, K1. Second place in the event last year, 14th the year before. Bozudenhout for the W because, I'm going to go 2 for 2 on the year now. What is wrong with gangs? Pig Thomas the capo. Exactly. I just, I love the trend with, hiring former football players with no coaching experience to coach your college. I think it's hilarious. I really do. Go Birds. That's right. More is stay for the paper. Guys, everybody have a great day. I hope you're well. Hope everyone enjoys their day. It's going to be cold, but everyone have a great one. Go Birds and bubbles up.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep.